Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester got hit with a bomb she never could have predicted in a million years. Crazy Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, isn't her husband's cousin, she's Dr. Finn's daughter. It's not looking great for the Sin marriage, and Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, is starting to look better and better. Should Finn be worried? Absolutely. Steffy Forrester took the news pretty well when Dr. John Finnegan, Tanner Novlan, admitted he slept with his Aunt Poppy many years ago and is actually Luna's father. Steffy was noticeably horrified by the idea that her stepdaughter tried to kill her and locked her up in a cage. But she promised her husband she would stay by his side and they would get through this. Did Steffy just make a promise that she can't keep? B&B spoilers hint accepting Finn's daughter is going to prove to be way more difficult than Steffy anticipated. She made comments to Finn about his mother, Shayla Carter's, Kimberlyn Brown. Crazy genetics still affecting their lives. Steffy cried that she just wanted to be a normal family. Liam Spencer will reportedly pop up in Steffy's orbit again soon, and will be shocked when he learns about her stepdaughter Luna. He'll give her a shoulder to cry on about her messy marriage, and there's a chance Steffy could start to miss their old simple life. Sure, Liam and Steffy had problems, but she never had to worry about his daughter or his mother trying to kill her. Steffy Forrester is at a crossroads. Will she keep risking her life to be with John Finnegan? Or will she start cozying up to predictable Liam Spencer again? Who do you think is the best match for Queen Steffy? Steffy Forrester stared out at the crashing waves from her Malibu cliffside home, the ocean's tumult mirroring the chaos inside her heart. The sun dipped low, painting the sky in hues of orange and violet, but the beauty of the evening was lost on her. In her hand, a half-empty glass of wine trembled slightly. She had thought she was past this. The aching vulnerability, the loneliness that seemed to seep into every corner of her life, no matter how fiercely she fought it. But here she was again, blindsided by emotions she couldn't control. Finn was gone. The reality hit her anew each morning, like a wound ripped open. His absence was a raw, aching void, and the weight of being a single mother to Hayes without him felt heavier with every day. Steffy prided herself on her strength, her independence, but even she had her limits. A knock on the door pulled her from the spiral of her thoughts. She wiped a stray tear hastily, straightened, and crossed the room, hoping it was her mother or maybe Hope, someone with whom she could exchange polite pleasantries before retreating back into solitude. But when she swung open the door, her breath caught. Liam, she whispered, his name a breathless confession. His blue eyes were soft with concern, brow knitted as he took her in, the smudges beneath her eyes, the way her shoulders sagged despite her attempts to stand tall. "Hey," he said gently, "I just wanted to check in. Hope said you weren't really answering calls." Steffy let out a shaky laugh, stepping aside to let him in. "Sorry. I guess I just been dealing." "I get it," Liam replied, his voice warm and understanding. "How's Hayes?" "Sleeping," she said, glancing instinctively toward the baby monitor resting on the coffee table. "He's been fussy though. I think he can tell something's different." Liam's eyes softened, and he reached out instinctively, his hand brushing her arm in a comforting gesture. It was so familiar, so achingly comforting that she nearly crumbled right there. "You don't have to do this alone, Steffy," he said, his voice a rough whisper. "You know that, right?" She bit her lip, the dam cracking. "I feel like I do. I don't want to burden anyone. And it's..." Her voice faltered. "It's so hard to admit I'm not okay." Liam's gaze was steady, unwavering. "You don't have to be strong all the time. It's okay to lean on someone else for a while." And just like that, the tears spilled over, silent and unchecked. Liam pulled her into his arms without hesitation, his embrace warm and steady as she broke down, her fingers curling into the fabric of his shirt like a lifeline. For a long time, they stayed like that, The only sounds the whisper of the waves outside and Steffi's quiet sobs. Liam's hand traced soothing circles along her back, his cheek resting against her hair. And in that moment, she let herself believe, just for a little while, that she didn't have to be alone in her grief. Memories and confessions. After what felt like an eternity, Steffi pulled back, swiping at her tear-streaked cheeks with an embarrassed laugh. "Sorry," she mumbled. "I didn't mean to." "Don't," Liam interjected softly. "Don't apologize for feeling." Steffi managed a wobbly smile, gesturing to the couch. "Stay for a bit. I could use the company." Liam smiled back, that warm, boyish grin that had once been her entire world. "Of course." They settled onto the sofa, a bottle of water pressed into her hands, and the conversation drifted, soft and easy. They spoke of Kelly's latest antics, of Hayes's first words, of everything and nothing at all. But eventually the silence grew heavy again, and Steffi's fingers twisted anxiously in her lap. "It feels like I'm drowning," she admitted finally, her voice raw. "Every time I think I'm getting my footing, something pulls me back under." Liam's hand covered hers, steady and reassuring. "You've been through so much, Steffi. It's okay to feel that way. But you're not alone. I'm here. We're all here." She met his gaze, eyes glassy with unshed tears. "Sometimes it feels like you're the only one who really sees me. The only one who understands." His breath hitched almost imperceptibly, a flicker of something unspoken passing between them. "Steffi." She shook her head quickly, forcing a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Sorry. I shouldn't have. I know you and Hope." "Hey," he interrupted, his fingers squeezing hers gently. "It's okay, you can tell me anything." Steffi's eyes searched his, heart pounding painfully against her ribcage. It was so easy to lean into him, to find solace in the warmth and familiarity of his presence. Too easy, perhaps. "I miss him," she choked out, voice cracking. "But sometimes I don't even know who I'm mourning. The man I loved or the one who betrayed me." "It's both," Liam said quietly. "You can love him and hate him all at once. It doesn't have to make sense." She let out a shaky breath, nodding. "I just wish it didn't hurt so much." "I know," he murmured, pulling her into his arms once more. "I'm so sorry, Steffi." Crossroads. As the night wore on, exhaustion crept in, dulling the edges of Steffi's grief. At some point, her head found Liam's shoulder, her eyes fluttering shut as his fingers combed absently through her hair. It was innocent, comforting, and yet, an old longing stirred beneath the surface, dangerous and familiar. Liam glanced down at her, his eyes soft with something perilously close to yearning. His hand stilled, guilt flickering briefly in his gaze, but he couldn't bring himself to pull away. The truth was, he didn't want to. Morning came slowly, sunlight filtering through the curtains in golden streams. Steffi blinked blearily, reality settling in as she registered the warmth beneath her cheek, the steady heartbeat beneath her ear. Her breath caught. "Morning," Liam said softly, voice rough with sleep. She pulled back abruptly, cheeks flaming. "Oh God, sorry, I didn't." "It's okay," he assured quickly, hands raised in a placating gesture. "Nothing happened. I just didn't want to leave you alone." Steffi's shoulders sagged, equal parts relieved and disappointed. "Right. Of course." But her eyes lingered on his a moment too long, and something unspoken passed between them. A line dangerously close to being crossed, a wound that had never truly healed. They pulled back, both painfully aware of the shifting boundaries, of the shadows of old feelings reawakened by grief and loneliness. But for now, they stayed silent, pretending for just a little while longer that comfort didn't come with complications. End scene. In the days that followed, Steffi found herself thinking of that night more often than she'd like to admit. Of Liam's arms around her, of the warmth in his eyes, of the way her heart had steadied for the first time in what felt like forever. Maybe it was wrong to lean on him so heavily. Maybe it was dangerous to hope. But for now, it was enough to know she wasn't alone in the darkness. And maybe, just maybe, that was the first step toward finding the light again. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our bolded and BAUTFUL UPDAT YouTube channel for more update news.